Welcome back to Brewmatures. Today, I love Bottle Logic always.
And we're going to review Makgora. Makgora is a raspberry honey strong ale from Bottle Logic Brewing. They brewed this specifically for Blizzard Entertainment, which is a video game company. And they're mostly known for Warcraft.
What is Warcraft? Is that like World of War?
Yeah, that's World of Warcraft was their most popular. I don't know if it's still going on. I think it probably is. But they were like first into like the whole like strategy game on the computer kind of thing, or like one of the first big ones was like Warcraft, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3.
World of Warcraft, WoW.
And then WoW became the biggest MMORPG on like for a while.
What is LOL?
That's a different game.
League of
Legends is different. That's different. Not Blizzard.
What's D&D?
Dungeons and Dragons.
What's WTF?
Fine.
Oh.
So this was brewed specifically for a thing they were doing for them, and I believe they released this to the public. So I mean, I was able to get my hands on a couple bottles of this, and I am pretty excited to review this with you. So they got the big orc on the side of this one. I forget what Makgora means, or Makgora means in orc. It's that guy. Usually green-skinned, angry humanoid. So I'm not gonna tell you the alcohol percentage because you're gonna guess after we taste it.
Strong ale.
Raspberry honey strong ale. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's a little foily, their old school way of doing it. I think this was released in 2019. It does not have a year on here, but 2019 would be my guess. I think that's right around when I picked this up.
What do you think this 15's for?
The 15th anniversary of Warcraft.
Okay.
I assume.
That makes
sense.
sense.
To say? But yeah, I'm pretty excited.
I love a raspberry. I love raspberry. I love honey. I love strong ales.
Yeah, and so I think this is going to be close to maybe a mead, or as close to a mead as Bottle Logic's going to be able to make. We haven't reviewed too many strong ales on the channel, so that's exciting. And yeah, we'll see if Bottle Logic still remains your favorite after this.
So I have a question, because I'm going to guess this alcohol percentage. Is a strong ale like in the ballpark of like a ABV wise, like a porter, a stout, a sour? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're ales, but they're usually barrel aged like a stout would be, or a barrel aged stout would be. So
okay, good to know.
Well, that's enough talking. Let's get to drinking. All right, here we go.
Thank you. Always exploring. That looks so gross.
Right.
Looks like bacon grease.
It is a deep, dark brown color, everybody.
Smells really, really, really good.
Deep, dark brown color.
It looks like maybe like an iced tea or something like that, like a strong tea.
The nose reminds me of cranberry juice.
What? I don't like cranberry juice.
It's got that sweet but tart smell to it.
I'm getting so much honey.
Really? Oh, you know what?
Like alcohol honey.
Behind that, I do get like that honey, and then I get that strong ale distinctive smell behind it.
I'm getting a lot of alcohol all of a sudden.
I don't get the alcohol in there in the smell. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna taste it, and then you're gonna guess to see what the alcohol percentage is.
So you said like a barrel-aged stout, not just a stout, like in the ballpark of a barrel-aged stout.
Right, strong ales are also barrel-aged, just like barrel-aged stouts are.
Yeah, this smells like honey alcohol.
It probably is.
I think it probably is. It is.
Now, I can't remember if you've had any strong ales before.
I don't think so.
I don't think you have with me, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
But that is super nice.
This is so good. I get a lot of the honey. The first sip, I got a lot of the honey. I didn't get any raspberry, but the second sip, I got a little bit of raspberry up front, and then honey.
Yeah, for me, the raspberry is a lot of the aftertaste.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna like smack my lips. Yeah, I get a lot of the raspberry there. Honey is definitely in the beer. And there is an alcohol bite on the back end. Not in a bad way, but like a little bit of that burn. Mm-hmm. But other than that, this is a really tasty beer. Still drinking good if you got them, so don't be afraid to crack them open.
If you chew it a little, I didn't do like a whole chew, but if you chew it a little, more raspberry. So that tells me if we let it heat up a little bit, warm up, if you will,
the raspberry will come out.
The raspberry will come out.
Oh yeah, a lot of raspberry in there.
I think we should do that probably though.
Okay. Well.
But not, yeah.
Oh.
Let me talk about it a little bit more because I think if I let it warm up too much, then I can't really guess the ABV very well.
Okay.
So this is kind of a little bit of a mind fuck with me because I can tell that it's a high ABV, but it's not kicking me in the ass too much. Like, I could tell, like, if I drank this whole bottle by myself, I probably shouldn't drive.
I've done that before. You definitely shouldn't drive if you drink this whole bottle.
I think it's, like, up there in, like, 12... Excuse me, where are you looking, please?
I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
It's so good.
12.7. Locked in.
Okay. Well, you're wrong. The alcohol in this is 14.46%.
I was gonna go with the 13. I got so close, but I was gonna do a low 13.
This is super good for a strong ale. A lot of raspberry in there, a lot of honey. It's sweet, it's tasty. It does remind me of a mead and something that, like, when you think of like a mead or a strong ale from like the medieval times, or if you're watching Game of Thrones or a Warcraft, this is something like, oh, they're gonna drink this, and this is what you could imagine in their mugs.
That's so funny because, like, I know not all strong ales have honey in it, but like when I think of honey, I think of like, I'm gonna drink some tea with some honey in it, and I'm just gonna sit underneath a blanket and read a book with a candle. But then Thor's like drinking meads, and he's like this huge fucking dude, and like he's going and fucking people up. They're drinking meads, they're drinking honey.
Yeah, well, as you learned from our superstition reviews that we've done, honey can make a strong mead. And it tastes really good in here, pairs really well with the raspberries.
Yes.
But I think it's time we let it warm up, so we're gonna do that and then come back with our final thoughts. And we're back. We've let it warm up. And Mary, I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but I get much more raspberry as it warms up. Mm-hmm. A lot more sweetness. Mm-hmm. And just a tiny bit more alcohol as well.
Mm-hmm. Why would you say that? I didn't agree with you. I agree with you in all ways of life.
I just don't want to speak for you.
Ladies, get you a man like Rick.
This is a very tasty beer. I'm probably going to go out and give this a 4.5.
Really?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Well, what about the 0.5? Why isn't it perfect?
Hard to say. I don't know. It just doesn't. It's not a 5 for me.
What would you want more of, less of?
I don't know. Maybe it's just the style. I mean, it tastes good. Don't get me wrong. Maybe I want a little less alcohol burn to it. Okay. But it's very tasty, very good. I don't think there's very much wrong with this beer, if anything at all.
Okay. I am gonna agree. It's not a perfect 5, but it's a 4.75 for me. I like the ABV. I love raspberries. I love honey. This.
It's your first strong ale too.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if. When I hear honey in a beer, obviously I think of a mead, and I wish this was a mead rather than a strong ale with raspberry.
Oh yeah, I mean, I like it as is, but who's to say how it would taste as a mead? I mean, I've had really good meads that have raspberry in them, and you could be right.
But for sure, let this warm up a little bit because there's so much more raspberry in it. It's so good. I love raspberry. I don't know about you, but I love, love, love raspberry.
Yeah, it's really packs raspberry in there, even after about 3 years of aging. Yeah, if you got them, it's drinking really well right now.
But that's going to do for today's beer review. Like, share, subscribe, slap that bell icon to be notified we upload new videos. You don't want to miss the next one because we have this bottle's twin. They did release another beer alongside Makgora, Iron Foe, coming next time. But until then, we're the Brewmateurs, trying every beer from around the world. One sip at a time.
Let's get this motherfucker going. He looks like a wannabe Thor. Look at that big ass hammer. You know what? You can't get them all right. I mean, the ABVs are hard when they get too high. What do you do?
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna drink more beer. I'm gonna guess the ABVs more. I'm gonna make it happen. I just want to know about video games. I'm a gamer. I play Pac-Man.